How to buy the cheapest flights in 2018. As a travel vlogger, this is one of the most common questions I get from both viewers and friends. To address this, I decided that rather than just sending you to sites like Google Flights or Skyscanner, instead I'd give you an overarching set of 5 basic guidelines to help you find and buy the cheapest flights in 2018. Hi friends, if you don't already know me, I'm Alicia and this is AMA TV, where I publish travel videos and discussions about creating travel videos. I'd love to have you as a subscriber if you aren't one already, so if you're into this sort of stuff, then hit that subscribe button below. And as a person maybe interested in creating travel videos, you're likely looking to travel as much as possible and save money on it, so you can spend money on video gear instead. So for that reason, I'm excited to share with you my top 5 tips to buy the cheapest flights. If you have a specific travel destination in mind, you're going to want to use a crazy detailed search engine to pull up all of the elaborate options for the cheapest flights. We're talking long layover options, budget airline options, multiple leg options, and just really long flights. These are the things that are going to help you find the cheapest flights. There was a day when you could go online and your booking search engine would simply search the flights that the airlines had listed. Now there are search engines that search engines to present thousands of different combinations and deals for you to choose from. For this super deep search tactic, I personally prefer the starting site Jet Radar. All at once, it will search Priceline, Momondo, TripAdvisor, Just Fly, Expedia, and more. This is much easier than searching all of those sites individually, and you can tell the search engine is really searching deep because it does take a minute or two to complete. The options are endless, allowing you to narrow down flights based on length of layover, total travel times, and overall best picks. Jet Radar also offers a multi-route option, which can really take the headache out of planning a multi-leg trip because you can do it all in one booking. Now, if comparing all of these search options sounds like a major hassle, it's because it is, but sometimes it's the price you pay to get the cheapest flight out there. Or maybe you're not all about putting in all that work and you really just want some insider info on some super cheap flights to a variety of places. Did you know there are teams of experts who will simply seek out the best deals for you and help you save over half of the regular cost of tickets? They are searching for the cheapest flights possible, and when, and only when, they find them, they will send you an email about it. This is Josh and his trusty team over at the Cheap Fly Club. This is a simple email list that you can join for free. The Cheap Fly Club are sponsors of this video, and I would like to thank them for that. They thought that AMA TV viewers would especially like to know about their list since you're all extra adventurous and love to travel. Now, unlike booking agencies who offer deals and make a commission from them, the Cheap Fly Club is not a travel agency, nor is it a search engine. It's simply a list of people who get this insider information. Currently, the Cheap Fly Club sends out deals on international flights only that are leaving from the USA and Canada. It's important to note that these are not last-minute deals, so you'll have plenty of time to plan your trip. Of course, as a new ambassador for the Cheap Fly Club, I'm also a member, and so far I've been blown away at the deals they've presented to me. Here we have Cancun for $191 out of Miami, only $215 out of places like Chicago, DC, and Houston. Whoa, $267 out of Los Angeles. Iceland, which is so hot right now. The best flight I'm seeing here is $220 from Pittsburgh, Baltimore, or Chicago, and just $280 out of San Francisco. San Francisco to Iceland for $280. We have St. Thomas from Miami for just $199. And it's quite inspirational to just open up the emails and realize you might actually be able to afford to fly to these places that they find. I'm suddenly inspired to go to St. Thomas. When a flight is less than $200, it really gets you thinking. Now, if you're really looking to save on flights, you can become a premium member of the Cheap Fly Club and receive an even more specialized and targeted list. For just $3 a month, premium members can have their list narrowed down to their departure region only. They also receive super discounted deals on business class and first class flights, which is exciting because it might give you the opportunity to fly first class when you wouldn't otherwise. I know I wouldn't otherwise. And best of all, premium members receive the most discounted deals on mistakenly priced flights. Yes, this does happen, and airlines will often price them at 90% off. By mistake. I'd love for you to join me as a member of the Cheap Fly Club. It's fun, it's free, and the link is below. Your departure date is key when you're trying to book the cheapest flights possible. So rather than choosing a certain day for departure, use the features that search engines offer to pinpoint the exact time of year and the exact day that is absolute cheapest to fly. As the rumor goes, sometimes it's Tuesday, but sometimes it's not. Generally it's the weekend, but it always depends. You can easily determine the best day by heading over to a site like Momondo.com or even Google Flight Search, which will give you a nice map of dates and costs. Once you figure out the best month and day to fly to a particular place, you can then narrow down your search to find the best rate. It makes it much easier to compare all the different tickets and layover options with different airlines when you've narrowed down at least one variable and you know you're flying on the cheapest date. Do you know that I've actually considered doing a video all about practicing yoga in airports? Not only because it's great for the traveling body, but because I've spent so much extra time in airports. Not being afraid of long airport layovers can seriously help you find the cheapest flights possible. Think about it, you've got restaurants, you've got shopping, you've got nice bathrooms, a semi-secure environment. A lot of times you've got these nice little workstations. I don't know about you, but as long as I have my laptop and a plug, I'm good for about 8 hours, along with the bathrooms and restaurants and things like that. When I flew out to the Philippines, I got a much cheaper flight by accepting a 12-hour layover in Japan. I knew Narita was a nice airport, and while I could have just chilled in this sleeping pod the whole time, I actually filmed and edited an entire vlog about the airport. Now this was a great use of layover time, and it was almost like adding a second destination to the trip, although I never left the airport. That time anyway. When you fly from the United States to, say, Asia, you're going to want to focus on finding the cheapest ticket for that leg of the trip. So if you live in DC and you discover it's much cheaper to fly to Bali out of Los Angeles, then you might want to consider booking that first flight to Los Angeles completely separate. This is also a good time to mention that since we're talking US domestic flights, don't forget to check Southwest Airlines separately. For some reason they don't show up in any of the aggregated search engines and you can only book their flights on their website. It's worth checking out though because they've got some really great rates on flights, especially if you book them early. And Southwest allows you to bring 2 checked bags for free, which can be the perfect segue to an international flight, especially if you have a lot of stuff. One important thing to remember when you book a separate flight before an international flight is that you will have to exit security and get your bags, and then probably take them over to the international terminal and recheck them. So don't forget that and think that your bags are gonna go straight to Europe if you book that flight separately, because they're not. So for this reason, be sure to give yourself plenty of time to make that transfer. It's definitely a hassle, but sometimes it's worth it to get the absolute cheapest flight overall. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've learned some super useful tips on finding cheap flights, and if you have some more tips yourself, I would love to hear them. Leave them in the comment below. We can all learn from each other, and before long, we'll all be booking super cheap flights. I do hope you've subscribed to AMA TV by now, and if you have and you'd like to take it a step further, head over to the blog and sign up for my email list. I've got some new updates coming out and just general things that are going on with the channel that I would love to share with you. So that's the best way to find out everything. I'm Alicia and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Ella Bunny's here now and she is mad that she didn't get to be in this video. And she wanted to tell you that she actually flew on her very first flight just last week to Colorado. It was an interesting journey. It was interesting, and I think we're gonna make a video about it sometime in the future, flying with a baby. Tips, tricks, and our story. Right, Pumpkin? What is this? Oh my goodness, I've never seen this before. It has texture. What is that?